Emmanuel Baptist
Send the
Church
link,
East.
man.
Let's go. I'll
Yeah.
send it to you guys.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for
If you can give us
sure.
a like. Google Maps is huge. I've been helping out with the streaming with them. It's been going really well. We actually just got some lights, so it's starting to look like a disco, but it's for God.
Oh, okay. Friday nights, you guys open?
But no, and it's crazy because looking at it back from last year, again, same concept. Like we were using our phones where I don't know if you know, like sometimes when you're recording, but it records like this way. Like
Yeah.
this is how our streams were before. We were having a hard time. And now we've gotten to a point where like a lot of other churches are asking us for our help because we have developed a really good
Yeah.
tech team. Just again, but it's the community and it's putting in your part and helping others alongside you grow. The more others grow, the more capable they will make you as well, right? And so again, that's the one thing that I ask. And then the other thing is, yeah, like if there's more questions or anything like that, for sure, feel free. I send out a Binance referral link just because, hey, like, if I can get something out of that too, that's great. But again, everything is a request. Nothing very like if I'm selling, I'm not a salesman. I'm just here to kind of talk about what is relevant that I like, and if I can share some of that wealth and that knowledge with you, hey, that's great. That's, to me, that's more than enough for sure. I think, and these conversations are super important. Like I commend you guys for starting this because
Thank you,
you
man.
just
Hey, thank you for doing it, man. Like I've told you before, man, you gotta
No
start
problem.
a podcast, man. Even if it's just about crypto and like real
Yeah,
estate.
you did actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, you're the tech guy. You're in the real estate. You're in this crypto.
Oh shoot, yeah, we didn't even talk about real estate. That's crazy.
Oh, that's a whole other.
I congratulate you guys though, because I know you guys bought your house, right? And like,
Yeah, man, finally.
thank God, man. Like that's amazing that
Yeah.
just alone by that, like you scored a goal. I see.
Yeah,
Scored goals, and this is a goal.
Yeah, man. I needed like another one or two. So right now
Absolutely.
it's just working on retirement, man. I'm not waiting 30, 40 years. No, I think 40 hours a week is way too long. 5 days out of 7 you're away, 40 hours a day. Like if you think about it, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like 8 plus 8 plus 8. Is that 24?
8 plus 8 times 3, 24, yeah.
So I'm supposed to get 8 hours sleep, be at work for 8 hours, and the other 8, like I'm supposed to split that up between my family, myself, things I need to do, things I want to do.
Imagine if you had kids, right?
And then you got kids, so it's like something about that just doesn't seem right.
I agree. Actually, one of the, I think it was a podcast or someone I was reading talked about how, so basically there was, a couple, and what I think it was the dad, what he decided to do was for the first 4 years after his kid was born, he actually didn't work. He was his child was a full-time responsibility. Maybe they had multiple, I can't remember, but the point is that science tells us that for human beings, the first like 4 to 5 years, like they're crucial years. That you have to be there if you really want to develop, a healthy, like strong, capable human being. And what we're seeing nowadays, and this is why like there's so many statistics. I won't go into it, but like basically what we're seeing is the rupturing of the family system. Like families are disappearing left and right, and again goes back to the financial instability that our generation is facing now, right? Where it's like you're having kids. I live in a basement, but I am planning ahead for that, like financially. But not everybody, I recognize, not very many people are in the same position as I am in terms of how prepared they are for that step, right? Like there's a lot of people who's like they basically check out, like especially men, they're just like, nah, like I'll just play video games, or I'll just like go to my job and like whatever. Or with women, you have a lot of single moms now, right? Again, very prevalent in our communities as well, and it's really unfortunate, but it is the reality of our situations. How do we break that chain? And again, these types of conversations I think are what's important, because by us being more capable, it's almost like it's a magnetic effect. It's like it makes the people around us even more capable, and it boosts them up too. So again,
strength in numbers. It's all about community.
Yeah, man, for real.
100%, man.
For real, especially in these times, right? Because like everybody, you're starting to see people dive into things like addiction and depression and all these things. And if there is that aspect of community, that's one thing we never understood. Because as like me being a Hispanic, family values are immensely important. Like we've gone through hell back home. My grandparents went through hell back home. I'm sure it's a very similar situation back home for you guys. But being able to like stick to family, knowing your actual neighbors, which is like, that what I mean. Like I could tell you maybe 2 names of the people around here. I don't know anybody else.
We were talking about the last episode, like about the islands. Like back home, Christmas time, you go by your neighbors, what did you cook? It's
Yeah.
you know everyone. Like people come by you, they're in your house, they're hanging out. You need something done, you can leave your house open. They come, they do what they need to do, they leave. Like
Exactly.
you knew everyone. Now it's just like you just say hello to the guy across the road, like two doors over, and like that's it.
And that's the full interaction.
You're probably gonna laugh, but
Oh.
when we were in Ajax and living with my parents, there's a guy across the street. Like he used to play soccer as well too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Your brother as well.
Oh,
and
okay.
for years, the guy told me his name once, and I just did not know that guy's name for years.
No way.
Because usually you see like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? TFC, what's going on with them, man? And like that's about it. Like we don't really know anything about each other. And for years, I did not know that guy's name. And he lives just across the street.
Wow.
And he was like crazy. Yeah. Neighbors to the left and the right of us. It's just, hey, how's it going, man? Whatever's whatever. And that's about it.
I think times just have changed though. Because when I was younger and I was living in Scarborough, our block, everyone knew everyone. And my next door neighbors, I could go into their house any any time of the day. Their door was just open. I could just walk in. It was never.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that's
it was never cool. It was just high and by. No, the whole community was just friends. Everyone knew each other. We did community barbecues. It was just a big family. But as the years went on, it was just that really decreased. It wasn't like that anymore. People don't want to say hi. You're fighting with your neighbors. They want to call the bylaw officers. Stop
show up. Oh,
crazy.
Yeah.
It is wild. It's sad. It's sad, that deterioration of community. That's one thing that with some of the people I've been talking to, I'm like, honestly, maybe I wouldn't mind living somewhere warmer with warmer people, especially, right? You have that sense of community. But I will go back to saying that in a way, it does start with each individual, right? This is one of the things that I've enjoyed about my church is that community. By integrating myself and being a part of, that community, contributing to that community, it really does help in that sense, right? But it does start. It started with me, they didn't ask for my help. It's I went and I put my initiative to help them out with this stuff, my talents. Here you go, what can I do? So I think it comes down to the individual too. But yeah, you're right. Here it's it's not, unfortunately, it's not as common, right?
Yeah, it's way different, man.
Yeah, for sure, Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sounds good.
What else you want to know?
Until I research some more, I don't have any questions.
Right.
Oh, okay, no worries. No, again, we can do this again. No problem. If you have questions about real estate has been really, really interesting because I remember last fall, basically, a lot of people were feeling very, very down, in certain markets. So for instance, my market, the place where I'm mostly invested in is condos. And a lot of people are like, oh man, condo prices are dumping. Nobody wants to live in one. This virus is wrecking it. But that's the thing is because I didn't necessarily, need the condo, it just kind of stayed there. It paid for itself. I still had rental income. And all of a sudden last month, it's they're actually coming back and hard. The prices are booming.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things where it's as to be financially healthy is creating a sense of balance, but understanding what your limits are and just trying not to be emotionally attached to prices in that sense. Just for me, it's been very important to find utility in the thing. So even if I maybe I can't find a tenant, okay, maybe I can live there. And in the meantime, that'll give me to weather the storm type of thing. I think that's been really important when it comes to real estate. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What happens? Sorry, go ahead.
I think people are just afraid to lose. That's the thing.
You
can't win without thinking about maybe I might lose or risk losing. You got to risk something. So
Absolutely.
For instance, stocks again is something I should have been in for a long time. I would have been way ahead, but it's been almost about a year now. So last year when the market crashed for the whole COVID and everything, so I was reaching out to a few people, see what they think, what they're into, whatever. And some people are like, no man, why would you buy it? Stock market is garbage right now. And I just thought that makes no sense. That was when I want to buy it. I don't want to buy it.
That's when you want to buy it. Exactly.
I don't want to pay $80-$50 for Air Canada. I can buy it for $10 though. Why wouldn't I buy it then?
Yeah.
But I just thought, what? Some people see things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on that. But it's just some people are thinking, oh, well, maybe it might go to $1. So I'm not going to put my money in. It's but you could put your money in and make $60 on every one you buy. Why don't you take the chance?
Yeah.
So I was with someone on Friday
Okay.
And he's like heavy into thousands of dollars, like 40, 50K and this and that. So, but what he does, he's like one of those real day traders.
Oh, he's a day trader.
So
oh, okay.
Oh man, it's going down. Sell. It's like, sometimes you just have to be patient. You can look at the red all the time, but it's just like every now and then you just got to say, you know what, forget about it. Just leave it. And then next thing you know, you could be a week, 2 weeks, a month. It's way higher than it was before. Because a lot of times that's what happens. Like look at Apple, Walmart, Nike, all of them. It's actually the highest they've ever been. It's like, wait a minute, this is the highest you guys ever been, and everything's shut down. Like, how's your stock keep going up?
Right.
But it's kind of crazy. But a lot of people are just afraid to lose. So it's like, oh man,
100%.
Panic. As soon as you panic, you sell, and then when you could have probably even made more money than you did before.
I couldn't agree with you more. I know a lot of stories of people who, back 10, even 15 years ago, were scared to go into housing because they're like, oh, what if I don't make my mortgage payment? Or what if I, my job fires me? Like, what do I do then? Not realizing that, look at where we are now, right?
Yes.
Like, now it doesn't even matter. You can't afford it now. Like, it's a good thing.
It's too late.
But it's too late. Yeah. But that's the reality. And like, I get that. Like, I can understand where that emotion is coming from. I think in a way it's about finding a risk tolerance that you can really I guess is manageable, because I can understand, like, if there are people that are very conservative, and that's why they will only buy, like, I don't know, Google stock for that. It's like, it's not going to change. I know that this is going to continue. It's fine. It's reliable. It will go up and you will see earnings throughout, a long period of time, but you're going to have to wait a long period of time, right? But if you have a bit of risk tolerance, if you know that you're going to be in it for, like, I don't know, a long time, like 20 years, you're a young person, and you dollar cost average, all of a sudden you can probably multiply whatever that person on Google would have made by having that capacity to weather that risk, weather those downtimes, right? Again, do your research, right? Like, that's one of the more important things. Like, educate yourself where it is that you're putting your money, right? But absolutely, I can totally understand that. And it's funny you mentioned how your friends were telling you that it's like stocks are trash right now. Don't buy it. It's like terrible. You should be buying shotguns because the zombies are coming.
Yeah, it's like, this is why I usually don't. I ask people questions to see what they think and then make a decision, but I don't do it based off of that. It's like, okay, what do you think? What do you think? Okay, this is what I think. This makes more sense. So it's like, man, if I only listened to people, that I don't know how far I would have been. Because it's like the fact that you're telling me no, don't buy stocks now is the lowest it's probably ever been since maybe 2009. Like, it's crazy that you would think that way, but it's going to go back up. So why would you want to buy Apple at $130? You could have bought it for 60. I mean, it makes no sense. You know it's going to go back up. It's not going to disappear. Yeah. Like, you're going to wake up tomorrow and get an email. Hey, by the way, Apple's shut down.
Your phone no longer works.
Yeah, your phone no longer works. By the way, you got to trade it in and get an Android. Like, it's not going to happen.
I find with stocks, I think a lot of people, they think stocks is like quick money. Like, they don't realize that, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Like, it's not a quick money thing. Like, it takes time. So if you see a stock go down that you have, I mean, I personally wouldn't sell it right away. I would wait because there's a good chance it's going to go back up. But some people are just like, oh, this is not making me any money, I'm going to sell it. And then they want to go after something else. So it's just, I think it's that mentality of people are always looking for ways to make really quick money. But it's never like a good way to go about things, especially stocks.
No. Sometimes it works.
I agree.
Because I tell you right now, I kicked myself with TripAdvisor. I had TripAdvisor, a whole bunch of it for like $5. I'm like, man, the country's not going to open up anytime soon. Let me get something else. TripAdvisor is $50 now. It's like, that's huge. Oh man, like, I could have waited, but it's not like I didn't make money from the other stuff. But I would have made so much money from TripAdvisor. Air Canada, the other day when Trudeau said, hey, we're shutting it down. You're not going to the islands anymore. Some of my friends were like, yeah, I already sold it. I'm like, why didn't you guys wait to see if it's going to dip first? 2 days later, it went up like $3. I was like, you guys could have waited. At least wait and see what it does. But some people, they just panic right away. And it's just like, oh, it's different. I got to sell. So, it's just about, a lot of people believe in just like quick money. But if you really want to make it, it has to be over a long period of time. 100%.
I go back to what I was telling you, just that consistency, right? And
Yeah.
the problem with looking at this space, whether it's crypto, gold, or even housing, because people are into flipping housing too.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from a point of view of quick money, so if we put ourselves in the shoes of someone who is thinking like that, what ends up happening is that you almost create false expectations, or you rely on your expectations. So if you expect to be making, turning that $100 to $1,000, it's that mindset can be dangerous, because all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, now I can afford, my $500 a month car payments, for instance, because now, you're expecting this $100 to go up to $1,000.
Yeah.
But then what happens if like that $100 actually, disappears, and it no longer, because it was a risky, endeavor that you took on. Now you got to pay not just $400 more because you would have the $100. You got to pay the full $500 for your car, and you're putting yourself under this stress, which makes it that much more. It makes you emotionally vulnerable,
Yes.
right? But if you already have, like, let's say $100,000 sitting in the bank, you want to play around with the $10,000, put it into a crypto, put it into whatever. It's $10,000. It's 1/10 of your wealth. You're not going to be worried about it. Like, realistically speaking, you already can pay for your bills. You already can pay for the car payments, baby mama, whatever. Like, whatever. But you know that $10,000 is, whatever. So you can weather the storm. And the point where it actually goes up and it does multiply, even if it drops half, a third, a quarter of the value, when it goes up, that's why, and that's what the whole thing with, like, when we talk about rich people, that's why they keep, getting richer. It's because they don't have this mindset that's like, I need this money. I need this money for next month. I need this money for whatever. They don't care. It's like, whatever, we'll put it there. I can weather it if it good. So it's a different sort of way of looking at things. But I like that consistency of it. If you are coming from low resources, being consistent, you will see your returns. Think of it like a farm. Like a farm, the seed doesn't grow overnight. It, like, you have to work on it. You have to. It's almost like a very natural thing that you can reflect on. And if you do it naturally, organically, in that sense, you will eventually see those rewards. Because look at the stock market. Like, yeah, it's dropped or whatever, but it always moves right and up, right and up, right. So it's just time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rise over run. It's gotta happen. Can't go backwards.
Exactly. There you go.
For sure.
Exactly.
All right, man. So what do you think is the future, though, for the crypto? It's gonna be like, really, this is it?
Oh man, no, the future, bro. The future is anything, man. Well, for Elon Musk, the future is putting Doge on the moon, right? There's going to be, according to him, and the whole idea of it is to put a physical computer. Remember, I was telling you about the distributed computers. Yeah. Imagine putting a physical computer on the moon, connected over satellite connections, and like you're running the ledger on that. Like that, wow, one step for humanity. That'd be great. So that's the future for Doge, the near future. Overall, I mean, I can tell you, diving into politics a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard, but China has already developed what's known as their digital yuan. So their currency is yuan. They have a digital yuan now. They had tested it in a couple of their cities. China is a monster in itself. Like, they have so many cities that are over 20 million people. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like a whole different world out east. But the thing with China is, and one of the reasons they say that they developed this digital yuan is because China likes to control their populace, right? That's why you're getting all the foreign investors coming here, and buying the real estate. Is because, think of it like a safety deposit box. It's like, they know they have their money here. It's safe.
It's safe,
right? Back home, they can confiscate it. They can do all sorts of things in China. The digital yuan allows the easy trackability, or the tracing of the different things that are happening with your money. So it's just another way of the government to control you even further, right? I'm not a fan of it, but the cool thing about it is that it proves that blockchain technology is actually useful. Like, it does. It brings validity to the space, right? That was one of the things I was listening to, where it's like, if the US was to come out tomorrow and say, okay, no problem, we're going to create a digital dollar. If they create a digital dollar that has a blockchain, that has blockchain technology, like, based on it, Bitcoin naturally will go up. because Bitcoin is a first mover. It has literally monopolized the space for like the longest time. So like by it naturally being a first mover and the US dollar coming out with blockchain technology, it validates the space. It finally says, holy crap, like everybody that's like, oh, this is a Ponzi, this technology has no value, you're literally mining it and it's, you know, it's nothing. You're wrong, because the US dollar would be on it. Now, technically right now they are wrong because the digital yuan is on it. I think we have to give it a little bit more time for the US to catch up. If they catch up, that's another thing. There's a lot of people are saying that China could easily, I mean, I'm sure you guys are well aware, China could easily start to replace the dollar as a like the petro currency, like the world reserve currency, right? And if that happens, the U.S. is in trouble. The U.S. is in trouble because and the Western world in itself, because the U.S. has used their U.S. dollar to basically, in a way, almost like blackmail countries, right? So, for instance, think of like, well, Iran. Iran is like one of those countries where if Iran, in a lot of cases, doesn't do what the U.S. Wants it to do, whether it's relating to nuclear weapons, whatever political party, whatever. What the U.S. does is it says, okay, you can't use our U.S. dollar, basically, you know, in a way. It kind of like tells it, go home, like you can't play, like, you know what I mean? So, if the U.S. can't do that, it starts to take away from their power, because now if the yuan comes into play, now China is the one in command, and the U.S. populace won't be in the best capacity to start to continue, not to start, but to continue to receive imports. Because what happens here in US and Canada is like we're a services economy where we work, like, you know, we have tech jobs and we have I don't know, just service jobs, right? But out in China and in Africa and to a certain extent too in South America, that's where we have the factories of the world, right? That's why China came out of nowhere, is because they're actually producers. They produce, their economy produces, whereas the US no longer really does. Back in like World War II they did, and this is why you saw the baby boomers, they came back home, they had babies, whatever. That's not necessarily the case anymore. By replacing the petrodollar with, let's say, the yuan dollar, it could get real nasty. I don't know that we would get into like a world war, but in terms of how people live here, you could see a big shift, right? Because we're used to certain commodities, right? Like we're used to living a certain way, a certain lifestyle. So that could start to interfere. Crypto is good because I think it kind of brings the world closer together. Like how you were saying, we're able to like, one of the great things is like, let's say you have relatives out in, I don't know, some island in Thailand or somewhere really far away. Even in India, where cryptocurrency is currently banned, you're not supposed to be purchasing it. But right, isn't that crazy? And in Turkey too. But let's say you want to send, you know, some help out to people out there, you can do that with cryptocurrency. And if you do it through a bank draft or a bank wire, sorry, that's going to cost you some money. So why not put more value into whatever you're sending and send cryptocurrency? The space is getting big. I don't know what other types of fads are going to come on. So we were talking about NFTs. I'm sure maybe a lot of people listening wanted to hear more about NFTs. I can understand why they're valuable. I don't think they're the most valuable thing. They to me, they're more like a fad. But hey, like if celebrities are getting it on it and they're bringing, you know, clout to the space, I think that's a good thing. Wait, actually talking about NFTs, do you kind of know what NFTs are, or?
Yeah, that is probably what I'm trying to put more of the effort into, like really understanding. Okay. Because like I'm into like art and drawing.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
music.
Okay.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, you know what? This is something that you can definitely use, because it's basically just like it works almost like in like the music industry type of.
Yep.
Like this, like Hita drew this.
Okay.
Me this. Let's say somehow we can make this into some kind of digital art. You know, you sell it, I don't know, $5. I'm not, or 5 Ethereum, Litecoin, whatever, Dogecoin. You know, someone can buy it, sell it, we'll make a little money over time. So at least a little bit of money here, so multiple streams of income type of thing. So it's something that I'm definitely looking into, because you can do like music production and all that. A lot of people are doing collectibles, anything really.
That's right.
But I'm pretty sure you might have some good stuff.
With
stuff that you can make.
With NFTs, so I know of them. I haven't gotten involved into it. Like I mentioned to you, I think to a certain extent it is a fad, but there is a lot of utility in it. So one place I'll recommend, there's a website called OpenSea.io.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you've studied NFTs, you probably heard of it.
Yeah.
But you
that
can
and Rarible
basically
is like the two top ones.
exactly. So you can go on there, you can create your own account, and it's really cool that you're into, the art. And if you can create your own art and stuff,
Yeah.
then you can mount it on there as like your own account. And especially if you're creating a following through this podcast or through whatever type of branding that you want to do, you can bring validity to who you are. And that's the great power of the blockchain and NFTs, is that it brings authentication. So this is a problem, for instance, with Yeezys or with like Jordans, where you get all the, people call them fugazis, right? Or fugazis, where it's like you get the shoes that are just fake and you recognize them from a mile away. The Jordan got a booty crack, like, you know what I mean? Like it's it's one of those things, right?
Yeah.
But if you are able to apply the blockchain and an NFT, kind of think of it like I guess like a name or like a sticker or whatever you want to call it, to that item, all of a sudden you know that is real. That came from Paris's podcast or whatever. Like that came from Elon Musk, or that came from whoever it is.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to check it out. I think in terms of how to get paid for it, there might be a little bit of a learning curve, because have you managed or used a digital wallet before?
No, we just bought a couple coins, but
okay.
Other than that, like actually use it somewhere, no, haven't.
No. Okay, cool. So for something like OpenSea, this is where you would have to use it. So the way that digital wallets work, again, it's a digital wallet. Actually, I can show you. They're physical ones too, but you can get like software ones. This is a digital wallet. This is the Ledger Nano S. It's made by a company called Ledger. They're probably one of the more legit ones. You can think of it kind of like a physical wallet, actually. It's just digital and it holds your cryptocurrency. And what you would do is you would connect something like this or your software digital wallet. I can guide you through the steps to the website. And then through there, that enables you to either pay for NFTs or get paid for NFTs, right? So once you connect it to there, it's just a matter of actually uploading the data or the pictures, the paintings, whatever, to the NFT chain. And then all of a sudden you got your own products that you can actually provide. And it's cool because it's units, right? So for instance, you were saying that you got the painting, sorry. So you could do like 5 NFTs of that painting and only 5 people can own that painting. There's a lot of different applications. Like one of the things I was telling a friend, hey, maybe like if someone's listening to this too, or even you guys, imagine if you could do like NFT emojis, where you have a popular platform like Twitter and only people who have, I don't know, like let's say you commented on Elon Musk for whatever reason, and he decides to give you his NFT emoji. So now with his NFT emoji, because there's only 5, you're one of the 5 people that can use that emoji across the platform. So there's validity in that. So people know if you post that comment with that NFT, it's like, holy crap, like that's some rep. Like how did you get it? It's almost like a trading card, right?
Yeah.
Again, different applications depending on what it is. This is just an example. But yeah, check it out, man. OpenSea is really cool. I have a friend who is selling stuff through here. I think he's had some really good luck. I think OpenSea in particular seems to run on Ethereum. Remember I was telling you Ethereum is like the supercomputer?
That's the main one, the main currency I've seen on there.
Yeah. Exactly. So there are other currencies that you can look out for. There's going to be, remember I was telling you about the different chains? So Cardano, ADA Card. Actually, you know what I can do? Am I able to share my screen here? Or are you guys able to see the screen at all? Or is that not possible? Do you think?
I think I enabled it.
Okay, no, because I can just start sharing it now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me share this one. So I was already on OpenSea here, but let's go to Live Coin Watch, and I can kind of run you down through some of the different projects, and just give you a very brief overview. So the extension that I was telling you about, like for the digital wallet, this is, think of it like Chrome. This is a browser, and there's a little extension here that's called MetaMask, and MetaMask right here, this is kind of like my digital wallet. So if you wanted to look at the Ethereum, for instance, like right now, I'm not using it for anything, but you would connect this to OpenSea, and then from OpenSea, you could start to interact and buy and sell tokens. This is one smart chain, but there's other ones that are really coming up. So I was telling you about Binance. The reason I was telling you about Binance is because from my research, this token that's related to Binance is blowing the heck up, man. Like this is a crazy, crazy token. So it started off like any other token worth literally pennies. I think look 30 cents, a dollar. It blew up. But I think what happens is like you see that for crypto a lot where it just the price keeps going up because people are seeing the price go up. So they Ponzi into it, I guess. Exactly. But then it leveled out. This is kind of where I picked it up around this range. And look at the price explosion of this. And this is all being fueled because PancakeSwap is offering a real live utility. We're starting to get into something called DeFi, decentralized finance. So I've told you about the decentralized networks, which is basically, I don't need, switch network. I've told you about the decentralized networks where this is where kind of blockchain comes from, where you have computers in all sorts of places, and they create trust. They create validity in the network so that you can ensure that people aren't, either duplicating the money, double spending, you know what I mean, or faking type of thing. But DeFi is actually really, really cool because now what you're starting to see is you can actually hold these tokens. So for instance, for me, it'd be cake being worth $30 right now each. You can hold cake and you can get paid. Listen to this. You can get paid almost right now. I'm getting paid 90% per year for holding cake per year, 90%. Whereas like the bank will pay you 1% for what you're sitting on, right? Maybe, I don't know. Because with inflation, it may as well not be. And so this is one of the platforms that I've been searching here. This is the percentage. If I can just show you real quick. So I connected the same thing like how you would do with OpenSea. You connect it to the platform. And then it's crazy because like in a not even a day's time. No, this has been 2 to 3 days with the amount that I've put in, which has been 60.5 tokens staked. It's already made me like was 42. Okay, so that's like $15, almost $10. 0.42 of a single cake. 0.42 times the price. Actually, it was at $32, I believe, earlier in the day. So it's made me $12 in 2 days, and I haven't done anything. Literally, right? Now, this is very powerful because you can begin to compound it, which would mean that whatever you earn, you just put it back into the stake. And then by putting it into the stake, because you have more, you get more, right? These percentage returns all change. Some tokens will give you a huge like percentage returns. This one's over like 100%. Like there's different ones, and I won't. What you're starting to see right now is I think this is the next big wave. The DeFi is the next big thing in terms of cryptocurrency because it really starts to open the doors to people making money and the flexibility of the utility of like what these tokens can actually do. And again, it's funny because I've been talking about this now for like maybe a month or two. And I feel like people can't really take this serious. It's like cake. Like, what are you talking about? Or like pancake. There's another one. It's called Bunny Swap. I'm like, is that an X-rated site? Like, what the heck is? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? But these are genuine projects that are being backed up by Binance, and they're organically growing. Man, there's a lot of people that are going into it, making a crap ton of money. Right. So again, these are kind of those opportunities where when you begin to really understand, there's the opportunity. The opportunity is in, what utility it's bringing. Are people really coming along? Obviously, there is risk, but this is one of those tokens. And again, this is like on their own chain. A project that you can definitely keep in mind for, I think maybe in like 2 or 3 months' time is going to be Cardano. Cardano is sitting at about $1.10.
Yeah.
It's been ranging between the high of $1.57 and $1. It actually came up from being worth like 7 cents. And the reason it came up is because they've made a lot of progress. Their team is really solid. Their founders are some of the founders that founded Ethereum. And so they're smart, but their whole idea is to basically compete with Ethereum. So if you're going to compete with Ethereum, though, just keep in mind this valuation is only 35 billion. Ethereum's valuation in terms of market cap is 270 billion. You're talking about, I don't even know, like almost 10 times. No, a little bit less, maybe like eight times over. But there's a lot of promise, and with that, there could be a lot of gains. This token could easily hit $5. Cryptocurrency could easily drop down to like 5 cents, right? So keeping that in mind, that's a project to look out for. ADA, Cardano. You've spoken about Doge. it was recently that Doge broke the top 10. Doge, I think I've shared with you my thoughts for Doge. There's not really much promise in terms of its utility.
Yeah.
But the cool thing with this website is when you go into it, it'll start to give you all the technicals. It obviously this I feel like this could be intimidating for someone who doesn't really understand. Like they'll see the price and maybe that's it. But if you actually scroll down, what you will see is it'll have all the information of what the project is, right? So if you look at what is Doge,
Yeah.
it'll begin to explain it. So a good way to say, I mean, I could literally read this. It says Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency, which its main feature is that it has likeness of the Shiba Inu dog. That's kind of preposterous, if you ask me. If for the valuation that it's worth, okay, whatever. So here it says it was initially introduced as a joke, but Dogecoin quickly developed its own online community and reached a market cap of US 60 million in January 2014.
Crazy.
This was in 2014. The market cap right now is 32 billion.
Wow.
That's crazy. Like when you really consider, the math, that's just everything is just wild. What else here?
Question.
I mean, that's it, right? Like there's not social media is the reason this coin is really worth anything.
Say we wanted to change from like platform.
Okay.
Like, the one reason right now is what, Exdagio or something like that, right?
Exdagio? Let's look it up.
Something like
see
that.
What it looks like.
Yeah, some weird name.
Exdagio.
I guess it's like the one of the top two ones or top one in
this
Canada.
A safe search, Paris? Because I don't know, man.
Adagio?
No,
it's X. Check me out. DIXAO or DIXAO, something like that.
Oh, I feel like
Endaxio.
Endaxio.
Yeah, I never remember that name for some reason.
Oh, Endax. Is it Endax?
Yeah.
Oh, Endax.io.
Yeah. Bro. So if we wanted to use like Coinbase.
That's crazy.
Oh, yes. Binance, sorry. We can easily switch.
So Coinbase is American. I think you can buy on Coinbase. Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny that you mentioned that?
This all goes to the same wallet, or would I have to have a different
one? So whenever you have an account on the exchange,
yeah,
that exchange kind of has its own wallet. Mm-hmm. The thing to keep in mind is exchanges operate like banks. So you don't necessarily like have your own wallet because they're the ones that manage your funds.
Yeah.
Right. So unless you take it out of the exchange, then those funds will actually be yours. But in the meantime, like the good thing is because crypto is so volatile, if, for instance, the price skyrockets to, I don't know, 10x or whatever, by you having your funds already in the exchange, it makes it easier for you to actually go from crypto to cash, right? Where a lot of people will try to deposit their fund onto the exchange while it's already at the 10x. And because the exchange starts to get high in traffic, it's think of it like the 401. When you have too many people going through the 401, what happens? There's a traffic jam, right? So you don't want to be caught in the traffic jam. You want to be, out in cash or out in crypto when you need to. And by doing that, by allowing your money or your crypto to stay on the exchange, that helps. But you take a risk. The risk is that if the exchange disappears, your money disappears, right? No, I wanted to do a low-key flex because you remind me. Endax is a platform that I'm pretty sure Endax follows me. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see if they're still following me. Let's find out. Endax. Oh shoot, they're probably not following me anymore, bro. The thing is, I actually helped them a long time ago, like 3 years ago when they were starting.
Yeah,
here they are. They follow me. Their main thing was XRP. But I helped them test their I guess it's like the front end for the clients when they develop the new one.
Yeah.
It's a good platform. It's just they have high fees in my opinion, and unfortunately they don't have as many coins to trade.
Yeah, right? We have about a dozen or so.
Yeah, see, look, they have BTC, ETH, Polkadot, USDT. Yeah, they have I guess 8 or 9 or so. You know what? Binance has coins. How many? I'm pretty sure Binance was 150 coins that you can trade actively on, and not to mention the stock tokens too. That's another big thing that I think is going to happen for the audience that's listening. Is look out for stock tokens because people don't really want to buy them at brokers. Like it makes it so much easier to just buy a stock token. You don't have to like go through the whole process of connecting your bank account to the broker and then doing all that stuff. You can literally just go onto your exchange. If they have the stock tokens, which Binance now does, you can just go in with the same money that you used to buy crypto. You can also use to buy stock tokens, and I own Tesla right now because of that.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the things. Definitely, if you can, try to see if you can get onto some other exchanges. CoinSquare is good. Coinbase is good for like the retail investor, but their fees are high. I personally think the best one is Binance. What's some other ones? They have another. Shoot, man, what's some of the other Canadian ones?
Is there one something like Moon or something like that?
Oh man, I'm sure there is. Trying to think what other
ones. A whole lot of different ones. Yeah, Coinbase. Binance is the next one I'm going to check out.
Yeah. There's Kraken. Kraken's another one. Oh man, there's so much. Actually, you know what? Just going in here, this will tell you what exchanges are trading. So Kraken, DigiFinex. There's so many, man. Like there's too many. So you can take a look and see if you find one that you can, you feel comfortable with, for sure. Definitely go for eToro is another one. eToro is kind of like Coinbase, where they're tailored for the common, like the retail folk type of thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, I was going down the list of the different cryptocurrencies. Obviously the valuation starts to go down, right? So like you went from 900 billion to 278 billion, 78 billion, 51, and they start to kind of get closer and closer together, 10 billion, 11 billion. Out of these, there's a lot of great projects, man. Like Theta is a good one too. Theta is a project that is trying to build basically like a decentralized, think of it like a decentralized YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. And the cool thing about these projects is you can actually go and take a look at them. See if you think this is something that will actually stand the test of time.
Yeah, I seen that green charts. I'm like, you know what? I should get some of those.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can see it right now. It just got flipped by Filecoin to 18. But if we take a look at it, yeah, maybe it's it's a decent time to buy. It got a high of like about $14 to $16, $15.
Yeah.
It seems to have corrected since to about $8. And it's funny too, because eventually we can start getting into technical analysis. You can do a basic one here where stocks, when you're looking at a stock, you talk about something called resistance, and what's the other one? I forget. There's resistance and support. So by looking at this chart, do you see how, like, as it was going up, it seems to have like stopped here a little bit and then it dropped down? Do you see that little kind of like hiccup?
Yeah.
And then it went right back up. Well, this part right here is important because guess where it's currently hovering at? It's hovering at around that same part. So this area could be known as a resistance or a support, depending on what way it's going. So right now, because we went from top to bottom, this is support. It's supporting it from going lower. But when we're going up, this is actually resistance. It's resisting the movement up. Eventually, we broke it. We retraced, but we broke it. And then now it's kind of just doing the inverse. It's doing the opposite. But the important thing to keep in mind, there's a lot of things, right? So it's funny that this is the $9, like $9 and $10 mark or $8 mark, because keep in mind that double digits, like there's certain numbers that are kind of like a mental support or resistance. So for instance, with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin manages to get to 100K, like that's different than saying Bitcoin got to 90K, right? Because now you're talking about 6 digits instead of 5, right? And a lot of this has to do with like human psychology and kind of how it, how do people think?
Yeah.
Exactly. So this one's interesting. I mean, again, because this is support, it could break it and it could go down. I could see it going down to like $7 or maybe here, which is where it kind of was at before at $3. But like you said, if it hits $3, like, are you going to get sad, or if you bought here, or are you just going to buy some more?
Yeah.
Right. Like it seems to me a better deal, especially if you already see the platform.
Yeah.
And you see that the platform's actually, pretty decent. Sorry. The platform's actually, it's pretty good, and it's been growing organically really, really well. So yeah, man, that's one of those things where, do your own research, see what you're liking, keep learning. I've been talking. It's funny. I've been talking to Lord Ed a lot about this. He's been getting into this too.
Oh man, how's Edmund, by the
way? he's crazy. He's crazy. When he sets his mind to something,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of energy. So
well, tell him to say hello.
for sure, I will. Actually, yeah, I'll probably speak to him a little bit after. But yeah, all of these coins are something where you can, kind of take a look at. The space, I think, is still small.
Yeah.
The total market cap right now of all the space is sitting at just under 2 trillion. Which again, we still have a ways to go to catch up to gold.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the statistics, young people like to invest in cryptocurrency more than they do stocks.
Yes.
Where's the future? Hey, maybe they know. There's a lot of regulation that's being set, but like the space is growing, right? And it's the same thing with real estate. Like I like to invest where I see that there's going to be infrastructure in the future. Mm-hmm. So my example is like the condo that I bought that is in Oshawa. It's right next to the university. I bought it when a lot of the stuff that was going all around in the university hadn't been built yet, right? But I knew that it's a good university, it's a good town, whatever. They're going to get funded. It's going to continue to build. As they built, naturally the price of my condo goes up and it becomes more desirable because they're building. So you can kind of take a look at cryptocurrency the same way, where it's like, okay, well, if Ethereum right now is, in a place where it's still building, like maybe we do have some hiccups. Maybe the transaction fees are high, but if we're going to a place where eventually it won't be as expensive to do the transactions, wouldn't that potentially boost the price up? It would make sense. And so that's why maybe you want to hold some. Yeah. So that's just an example. Again, nothing's financial advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing here at this point. But yeah, man, I think I don't know what you guys are thinking. If you have any more questions or what's going on.
Questions? Nah, just gotta hit the notepads a little bit more.
hit the notepads.
Information. I'm like, you know what, Mario would really deep in this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Because we literally just started looking at this stuff like last week and last night.
Hey, that's cool.
We're checking it out because it's like, you know what, we have a little bit of time now because there's so much different things we have going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely.
Time, but it's like still not too late. That's usually what a lot of those guys say on those platforms, like Earn Your Leisure and all that. It's like even if you can't buy the exact coins and all that, like you can go into stocks and get ETFs that has like blockchain technology and all that. So there's still a chance.
Yeah, that's right.
Something.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
The whole idea is getting in because we're usually the last people to get in on things. So it's like, hey, don't say we didn't tell you. Like we're giving you free game right here on the podcast. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So share information. That's the only fee. Share information. If you really want to learn more, you actually get deep into it. They offer courses, $100, $50, depends on what you want to know. And it's just like, that's the main thing, just sharing information. Because that's why we really started to do this whole, idea of a podcasting, because there's so much information, and a lot of times people just don't have the access to it. Or they have the information, but where do you go next? Because unless you know someone who can say, hey, go there, do this, check this out, then you're kind of just stuck.
I understand.
That's usually like the main case. The information, access to the information is usually limited. So you could have made a smarter choice or a choice, but it just wasn't there. It wasn't really available. So that's the whole thing.
I agree with you. And I think it comes to each individual, right? There's the thing that keeps being repeated where it's like, if you are, broke in 2021 or 2020 or, the past couple of years, it's kind of like a choice. Like you're choosing to stay broke. You're choosing to stay low value because in no other point in time has so much information been freely available than right now, right? I'm a big, I guess, a believer that the internet is probably the greatest invention ever made because it, in the way that we see it now, because it does enable that free transfer of information. Whereas, you think about back years and years ago, just owning a book was worth gold. Like that's crazy. But now you can literally, if you want to learn about cryptocurrency or you want to learn about renovating houses, whatever it is, that you can literally just type it in your keyboard and you're good to go. But it's that initiative, right? It's like, how badly do you actually want it? Do you understand that scarcity is a real thing, or are you just living for the clout, right? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta put the time into what makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then there's no point.
Yeah, exactly. And it starts with each individual. But
Yes.
yeah, man, that's cool.
Well, man,
that's cool.
Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Sharing the crypto gems.
Not a problem.
Absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, if we got questions we're gonna ask you, we'll check in again some other time when we got questions. Getting some NFTs.
What I'll encourage you guys to do is, anytime you have questions, write them down. Whatever you can call me up whenever, but also keep them in mind maybe for the the next show, the next session.
For sure.
Then we can sit down and dive into them, because the thing is, you guys have already started this journey, right? So you now know more than maybe 90% of the populace. But the thing is, the questions that you're having now, those questions are going to be the same as to like the people that are following in your footsteps, right? And don't be intimidated at all by by the space, because it's the same with everything. It's like I know a lot about this. I don't know anything about, I don't know, like maybe shoes or like whatever other thing, like painting. I have no idea. Like you guys seem to really know what you're doing back there. I don't know. There's no paintings here. So just keeping an open mind and staying motivated in that sense, I think is really good. Like I have been in the space for quite a bit. Like you said, you've only been in a week, but it's cool that you guys are coming into a space like that. Very welcoming from my part, and I'm looking forward to future conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So let the people know what you got going on. If they want to reach you for anything, you can start
that's sick,
giving a little fee or something, $10 an hour or something, make a little change.
Let's do it. So no, I mean, for my part, like I mentioned, I just do requests right now, because to me, I take this to heart. But if you want to really, help out the community, and in part also help me out by that, I encourage you guys to check out. I'll send you the link to, if you can, give a good Facebook like to our church. It's in Ajax, Emmanuel Baptist Church East, just off the highway. I think it's Westney, but I can't remember the street. I'll send you the link so you can do that. So if you can give that a like, that'd be great. But in terms of like reaching me directly, the cool thing with Instagram, when you get in early, you get the good names. So my Instagram name is @SuperMarioN64. It's easy to remember.
How did you get that? Who'd you pick?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You get in early, you got the bank, right? So feel free to reach out to me there. Again, very open to having these conversations. And the last thing you can do, and I can send you the referral link for Binance if you want to sign up through there. I think the whole thing is, if you use Binance, I get a portion of the transaction fees, whatever you do. But that's it, right? So to me, I think it's just important for people to really use it, right? There's this guy that I follow, where what he does is he actually sends people free cryptocurrency, people who are learning, so that they actually have a motive to actually use it,
some incentive,
right? So because if you don't, like, that's the other thing too, is like, if you're starting from scratch, but you don't really have an incentive. But if I give you like $100 or $200 worth of crypto, it's like you're gonna want that money. But you have to go through the process of understanding, how do I actually turn that into money? Right? So, but yeah, I'll send you the Binance link there if you want to do it, and hit me up whenever.
All right, man. Thanks again for your time, sir.
Not a problem. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night, eh?
All right, man. Take it easy.
Have a good one.
And that's all for now, folks. Don't forget, links in the bio. Donate to the volcano. Fund for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Help save my little island here.
Yeah.
Or I might just have to move to this other island here.
Which is not too far from the other little island.
So I'll get the ashes either way. Thank you guys for checking in.
Thank you very much. Hope you guys learned a lot.
Hope you had your notepads.
It went over your girl's head here.
So we got more studying to do.
Oh, yeah.
The future isn't there. Don't get left behind.
What he said.
And don't forget, share the information. Don't be selfish. And that's a wrap. Cut.